It's time to get blitzed here on Windstream Channel 4. I'm your host, Brian Carter. On the show today, we've got some highlights, we got some interviews, the player of the week, and much more. We're going to get the show off and running here at Habersham Central with Raiders and Lady Raiders cross-country coach Matt King. Coach, you've been on the show before, and we always appreciate having you on here.
It's a pleasure to be back. I really enjoy it.
And we do too. Now, Coach, talk a little about your expectations coming into this year. You were able to bring back, very fortunate to bring back most of your key runners from last year, including the entire girls team. So talk a little about the expectations coming into 2010.
We actually had high expectations this year. We finished with the best season last year in girls history. We brought back all 7 of them. We knew we were getting another one that was a good, solid runner. So we were just trying to increase, and improve from last year. 3rd place in the region with Flower Branch coming in, we knew it was a stretch, but we just want to go back-to-back to state, and we want to try to prove on 16th. With the reclassifications this year, 4A has become a beast of a classification, and our region's no exception. Flower Branch finished, they won the boys, finished top 2 or 3 in the girls last year, and these are really legit programs that we're competing against now, and we're just trying to be in there, be in that mix, be in the conversation for the girls. For the boys, we brought back all but our one, which really has brought back solid leadership, solid performance, and we have been proud of the way they have performed this year. We're still fighting for the same things. We've been back-to-back region runner-up the last 2 years, shooting for that goal again, hopefully cracking that top 10.
That was actually going to be my next question for you. Expectations going into the region meet, which is just around the corner. Last year, boys finished 2nd, girls finished 3rd. And then also looking into state, where I believe the girls came in 16th and boys came in 13th. Talk a little about the approach the team is taking into that.
The approach this year is different. With Flower Branch being in, we can't touch their boys. We know that. We're going in for fighting with Winder and Loganville and Heritage and the usual, fighting for that region runner-up. For the girls, we just want to be in that conversation for state. We have never in Habersham history sent a program back-to-back to state for the girls, and our goal is to change that. We want to make state an every-year option for our kids where we basically are there every year. For state girls, we would love to crack the top 20. We want to be 15th, 16th in that mix, hopefully improve on last year, but we just want to be in there. Boys, we're shooting for that bottom 10. We believe that we are now a program that's where we should be aiming.
Now, you're aiming high because you do have Brian Elder, your number 1, and Katie Bohannon on the girls' side, your number 1. That's 2 legit runners right there. How special are they, and how much of the team's success depends on them?
Actually, we are very, very lucky, and we have a lot of depth on the boys' side. Brian is a superb runner. I am so glad that he has come out for these 3 years, and I've got to coach him and watch him just, improve each year. He's dropped massive amounts of time, and I've just been very lucky to have him out. He's a great kid, and he works his tail off, which has been, every coach's dream. He is, the core of our team, though. If he's not there, the kids know. And, but we are lucky where we have depth and we can sit him and rest him and do what we need to do with him, and we can still finish pretty good in invitationals without him. Katie is our girls team. She is by far has been our superb runner for 4 years. She is my only girl that has stuck with me for 4 years. So she's kind of, she's a little different of a runner. But with her out there, we know we're going to do well. She, catalysts our team. She has been our number 1 for 3 years now. So we just, look to her to guide us in, different invitationals. We just don't have the depth on the girls' side, so we don't sit her as much. But she still does what she needs to do. She's been running with other runners. We do other things to get her, involved in her leadership aspect.
Now, I know you're concentrating very, very hard on finishing the season strong and with the region meet around the corner and going to state and everything like that. But in the back of your mind somewhere, you got to be thinking about the 2011 season and what you're going to lose, I guess, the turnover next year. Where do you kind of worry about where the leadership's going to come from?
I'm fortunate. I've been mixing and matching all year, taking people, seeing where they fit in, doing different lineups constantly for my varsity, seeing, testing some JV runners out. So I've been very lucky where I have, the option of putting some people in to see what they can do. I do lose, 2 to 3 to 4 solid boys next year. I'm going to lose, my number 1 girl for a long time. But we have our core coming back. We have a very solid core on both boys and girls that is coming back. And we have a couple of youngsters who we've already gotten, looked at. It's kind of slowly getting them out, where I know that we can still compete and still be a strong team in this region, in this state, as long as we keep getting the athletes that we're getting. We're fortunate. We have 4 or 5 8th graders who I've already groomed to start replacing my top 3 or 4 that are leaving. I got a girl I'm already grooming to replace Katie. You always got to be looking 2 to 3 years down the road. Every good program will.
Now, you talk about mixing and matching. You've done that quite a bit this year, as you said. But even then, you still found success. You've had the boys have had 4 top 5 finishes in different invitationals and meets, and the girls have had 4 top 10 finishes. You have to be thrilled that in all the meets so far this year, only 5 times have the teams not placed in the top 10.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it just goes to our depth and hard work. It goes to these kids, running from May, end of May, early June, all the way till now. We have also been very fortunate. We've been healthy. We have not had any sickness, any injuries real bad. I mean, we are just a fortunate team this year, which has been great, which contributes back to our depth. And, we sit somebody, we don't lose much.
Well, Coach, good luck in region meet, and hopefully going into state, you guys do very well there as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Now, when we come back, we're going to have Brian Elder on the show. He was our 09 Runner of the Year, and he's the senior leader on the boys team this year, so stay tuned for more Blitz.